Girl, your breasts are way too big. You need to do something about that. You're an entrepreneur now. You can't be out here looking like a porn star. Those were the words of someone I considered to be one of my best friends and a mentor. At the time, I took her words as loving advice, under the impression that that was what love looked like. Being raised in my West Indian household, hugs and kisses were a rare occurrence. You take your eyes and pass me? Were the words of affirmation my mother would give me to let me know how disrespectful it was for me to stand up for me. After going through with the procedure, I no longer felt like myself. In a moment of vulnerability, I shared with my friend the struggle I was having with the changes to my body, and that I was far from happy with the results. You know Danielle just had a breast reduction? But look, they're not even. My body's response told me all that I needed to know. It felt as if all the blood flushed out of my body, leaving me empty and cold. It was at that exact moment the rose-colored glasses came off, and I was able to see that friendship for what it was. And that was not my friend. I didn't know if I wanted to sob or start swinging. Instead, I reverted back to a response that I learned in childhood. I smiled and I laughed along. I was being objectified, my flaws and insecurities pointed out to others and scrutinized by one of the people I valued the most in my life. I was already feeling self-conscious, and now that feeling had amplified. It felt all too familiar. It reminded me of the many times while growing up that I stayed silent to keep the peace, or the times my own mother would tear me down because my light was too bright for her to receive. My emotional well was depleted and now overflowing with flashbacks and resentment. How was I okay with someone treating me this way? When did I abandon myself? I'd recount the endless times I prioritized my friend's entire existence over my own. And that's when it became clear to me. In my attempt to navigate being raped, molested, and emotionally abused as a child, and as a way to protect myself from further pain from others, I'd become fluent in a sixth love language, which is people-pleasing, also known as codependency. That was my survival mechanism. I made it through life using love as my armor, constantly giving and pouring into others in hopes that maybe one day I would be seen, heard, or valued. The worse someone would treat me, I'd automatically try to love them harder. And because I valued our friendship, I believed everything she said to be true. And that's the tricky part about codependency. It teaches you to love everyone and value everything outside of you. Stuck in a vicious cycle, I wasn't able to attract someone who prioritized me, because in order to avoid conflict and pain, I couldn't make myself a priority. When all you know is how to love in order to survive, even the red flags begin to look and feel like butterflies. I gravitated to toxic people and relationships because they felt like home. And after making this connection, I took the time to pour love back into myself so I could heal. No longer having to prove my worth or perform for affection, all my love needed was another direction. Love will never dim your light. Love will amplify it and fill you with life. We can live, we can love, and we can thrive outside of the ways that we learn to survive. If you're also fluent in the language of codependency, I want you to know that you too have the power to be the love you wish you received.